It's a chilly but sunny afternoon here in Chandler, Arizona, as we get ready for the Basha Bears to take on the Casteel Colts the second time in 1 week. Welcome everyone onto the BBN Network. Jaden Ricken alongside Emmett Morris here on the call tonight. And Emmett, this is going to be a big game for the Bears. We know earlier this week they took a tough loss to Casteel, that 14-4. What does this mean for Basha, and what are they going to have to do to be able to try and pull off this upset?
Well, Jaden, the Bears tonight are really going to need to be patient at the plate. As you mentioned, Casteel is a top team in the state, and I think Basha works some counts. If they can force some pressure on the bases and hopefully get on the Colts and have a chance to win this game.
And plus, with a head coach like Coach Eric Albright, you're going to have a lot of time to grow, right? They had a semifinal appearance last year, but it's been a challenge after losing those seniors, so I'm interested to see how Coach Albright is going to be able to help this team right now, still a losing record. As they move into region play, it's going to be interesting to see what they start to adapt to and how the team can kind of pick up some of that slack.
Yeah, Jaden. The Bears had seniors like Gavin Smith and Max Madrid graduate last year, but they looked for some guys to step up, such as Grant Smith, Lincoln Demmons, along with Parker Anderson, who transferred from Hamilton. However, Jaden, it will take a lot more than just those three to come through tonight if the Bears want to take a win.
And as we get ready for the starting lineups, the Basha Bears entering onto the field. Casteel, a very tough force to be messed with, 11-4 right now, second in the state of Arizona, and they've won 6 of their last 7 games. This is a team, they're hot, they're dangerous. Basha won the last 3 times against Casteel up until that matchup on Tuesday, but we do know that day was a little bit hindered by the weather. We were commentating softball at the time, and there were some spring showers. It was super windy. We know how that affected softball. So to say that that also didn't play an effect on baseball, you know, a couple football fields away, would be unfair. So now the weather a little bit better. We don't want to jinx it yet.
Yep.
It's a little windy, but we've got some sunny skies with some nice clouds in the background, and hopefully the weather today will go in Basha's favor.
Yes, Jaden, something to mention that Casteel is playing the 3rd game in 3 days, so we'll see how they respond to all this activity.
We'll be right back after the national anthem. We are just a few seconds away from the first pitch, and Emmett, if anything, what are you expecting Basha to do differently this time around?
Well, I'm expecting Basha to come out with some energy. You know, a 14-4 loss in any means does not taste good in your mouth, so I'm hoping they come out here, get a quick 1-2-3 inning led by starting pitcher Dylan Clements, and hopefully they go into the bottom of the 1st and start hitting like we saw in softball on Tuesday as they put up 6 in the 1st inning.
Basha's got some monster hitters as well. You can't count them out once they finally get a chance at home plate. Chase Chanley, number 18, the star hitter this season. The senior, he's been batting .353. He's already got 7 runs on 10 hits, and he's starting to make his mark.
Yeah, Jaden, Chase Chanley. Basha really needed someone at short to come through for them, especially after Gavin Smith graduated last year, and Chase Chanley has done just that. He'll get the leadoff spot tonight with some speed mixed with his hitting. hopefully can start a rally for the Bears.
Gavin Smith over at Harvard University now in the big leagues.
Smart man. He's a smart man for sure.
That's one thing Basha doesn't shy away from, and that's breeding next-level athletes. We know there's plenty of Basha players now in the major leagues, other ones still in college waiting for their chance to go to the pros, but this is a program that breeds excellence within all of their players.
You're right, Jaden, and it's not just in baseball. You know, basketball too. You got guys like Mason McGee, Kingston, Montague, Leighton Leonard, and of course football. You know, you have graduates like Miles Lockhart, Demond Williams, and you got upcoming stars like Noah Roberts. Gio Richardson just graduated.
And it's crazy to think where Basha was 10 years ago, people didn't really think much of it as, you know, the athlete's paradise. But now it's almost sort of become that destination school for high school athletics, and you end up seeing a lot of transfers come in as Casteel will get ready for their first bat of the day. Connor Russell, the center fielder. First pitch, ball one. Foul ball.
Looks like Dylan Clements trying to get that outside corner. We saw a lot of that softball on Tuesday from both teams. Looks like Dylan Clements trying the same thing here against Russell.
Russell hesitates. Strike two. One ball, two strikes. Russell, right field.
It's Gapper.
And bounces down before the wall. Russell at second. He's going for third. And he is safe at third. Connor Russell, the monster hit to start the game.
What a swing there by Russell. You know, Clements left it way across the plate. You knew as soon as that ball came out, that was going to be smoked. Perfect start for the Colts here in the top of the first.
Now we welcome Taylor Dodd, the right fielder. Another lefty hitter for the Colts. And Russell leaning off quite a bit. Another hesitation from Dodd.
Good change up there by Clements, just getting into the zone.
Fast down the middle, bouncer. And Dodd, oh, just barely makes it on to first. And that's a bad miss right there.
That's a huge miss. Big break there for the Colts. Would have been one out. Now you got runners on the corners with first and third. That was a perfect situation there for Clements. Got the ball, looked the runner back. Just a bad throw by him. It'll be an error on him.
Well, we saw the hesitation. He almost wanted to throw to third. Then he kind of looked to first. And then by the time it got to first, it was fumbled. I mean, that's a big miss from David Richter. Baylor Denny. Good pitch.
Just a little bit high there, Jaden. Grant Smith looked like he tried a little bit too hard to frame it.
Safe at first. Dodd makes it back in time.
Be interested to see here if Casteel is going to try steal here. See if they can get Grant Smith to throw it down and try and steal home as they're stealing second.
Well, they're playing very aggressive, leaning off on all bases. Strike one for Denny.
The good off-speed pitch there.
We haven't seen Casteel take a lot of swings.
No, we haven't. Very selective of their pitches, very patient. Ooh.
Almost hit.
Not something you want to see at all.
Would you ever lean into that as a batter? I mean, obviously you don't want to get hit, but knowing you get the automatic walk.
Maybe I have before. Probably have when I was a little bit younger there, Jaden.
Now that you're 40 years old, you get to reminisce back on the good old days, right, Emmett? Strike 2, 2-2 for Denny.
Beautiful pitch there by Clemens, painting that outside corner.
Let's see if Clemens switches it up. Looking at first.
It was going to the third at first, and then
Dodd and Russell are playing this well right now. They're not leading off too far. And
trying to force a balk here, it looks like, Jaden.
Clemens really wanting to get him. Ball 3.
Yeah, Clemens better be careful here. If he plays too much with the runner, he's going to leave one over the play, and it'll be a 3-0 game if he isn't smart about this.
Well, Denny's going to be swinging here. Denny takes a shot, foul ball.
Yeah, but a good break there for Denny. You know, Gavin Smith had his mitt right on it, but just bounced off.
Runner on first and third. Baylor Denny, the shortstop. And out number 1 for the Basha Bears, top of the first inning.
Nice pitch there by Clemens, just powering that right past him. Probably took some anger out of that right there, Jaden.
Well, he was up there for a while. I mean, he
Yeah.
had quite a few. But as we said, Casteel's been pretty conservative when it comes to taking swings so far, and he pushed it there.
Yeah, they've been very patient, Jaden. It's something that Basha is really going to need to do.
Still
They want to win this game here tonight.
1 out, runners on first and third. Ryan Hardwood up to the plate.
Looks like he's trying to get that change up on the outside corner there, Jaden. He's been working that outside corner a lot.
Hardwood ready for his second. Ball 2. A lot of balls so far, Emmett.
Yes, Jaden, like I said, trying to work that outside corner, especially with that changeup, but it's just not hitting here today for Clemens.
Takes a shot. Out to third and out number 2 as Hardwood pops it up for the easy out to Lincoln Demons.
Yeah, great pitch there by Clemens. Trying to get that double play ball and jamming him, but a pop out will work too for the Bears. And now he's 1 out away from escaping this early scare.
And after Russell's amazing hit to get him on the third on that first batter, we'll see if Ryan Barker can take him home. Ball 1.
Have some wind here, Jaden, coming in from the third base side.
Well, there was a dust storm out west a little bit earlier. Kind of worried us, thinking it was coming this direction.
Yeah, we were in the middle of setting up, and all of a sudden our teacher, Glennis Skolitsky, saw the dust storm coming.
Ball 2. Russell on third, Dodd on first. Ball 3. That was a fast pitch, just a little outside.
Yeah, a little high too there, Jaden. You know, probably didn't get that release late enough for him, and now he's in the hole, 3-0.
Barker, strike 1.
Taking all the way there, Jaden.
And so are these balls right now, Emmett, are they coming from wrong framing or just too outside and inside?
I think it's too outside inside, you know, looking at him as he just stepped off. Looking at him, his release points aren't on key right now, Jaden.
Ooh. And that'll be a walk for Barker. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the first.
There, Clemens just needs to settle down. He's more worried about the runners on the corners, it looks like, than the actual batter, especially with 2 outs, you know. Now he's got the bases loaded. Just needs to focus on the batter there, Jaden.
And Dallas Harrison a chance for the grand slam.
Something to note now, Clemens can now, he's going to work out of the windup instead of the stretch. Especially now there's no open base.
First pitch, strike one. Already improvement from Barker. Clemens taking his time.
Good pitch there by
Yeah.
Clemens.
Strike two.
Been a great response so far by Clemens. You know, giving up that 5-pitch walk. Now immediately getting Harrison down 0-2, looking to punch him out right here and get out of this jam.
Hairston, 2 strikes, no balls. And he'll get his first ball there.
Try that outside corner, just missed there, Jaden.
Fast one. Low one.
Ooh. That looked like it guided there to me, Jaden.
I think it was just a little low. Hairston, after the 2 strikes, now has 2 balls and even 2. 2 outs, top of the first.
Tried the off-speed pitch there, Jaden, after powering 2 right there.
Two balls, 2 strike. Ooh, make that 3 balls.
Good scoop there by Grant Smith. Would have been 1-0 there if it couldn't come up with that. Now runners will be off here, Jaden. Be interesting to see how Clemens responds.
Clemens, they're all moving, and a great hit. Harrison left field, and Casteel, will they get all 3 home? Yes, they will. Hairston sending home Russell, Dodd, and Barker.
Runners were in motion there, Jaden. Harrison, speedy at first, getting a great jump on that pitch, being able to go all the way from first, and Casteel, who was at one point an 0-2, 1 strike away from getting nothing, now catches in all 3 of those runners on base, and they explode to a 3-0 lead.
Great hit from Hairston.
That's perfect. That was a beautiful swing there. No, Clemens threw that changeup, and he just got the barrel on it and sent it to left.
Logan Reber at the plate. And Hairston steals second.
It's on a wild pitch there, Jaden. Clemens probably a little shaken up after that one from first came in the score, make it 3.
And Casteel trying to capitalize on the moment. You know they're not sleepwalking,
You know,
when Hairston's paying that much attention right there. Still top of the first, 2 outs for the Colts. Strike 1.
good change up there. It's actually a little bit of a slider there, Jaden.
An intentional slide or unintentional?
Intentional.
Swing and a miss, strike 2, and Clemens, he's got to close out the inning.
It's
here
got to
at
be
the
one
top.
here. No. Weber probably going to be sitting breaking ball here if I'm Clemens. I want to see if I can power one him through. Try some high cheese here, Jaden, if I'm Clemens.
Already a 3-0 lead for the Colts. Foul ball.
Tried that breaking ball there, Jaden.
Just made a fan's day. Take home a little souvenir.
You got to love that, Jaden. Sometimes getting a baseball from baseball game is peak life.
You would know all about that.
I would.
Yeah, you love to collect. And if you guys know Emmett, biggest MLB fan you'll find, he goes to all the spring training games. He said he's got thousands.
I think thousands is a little bit.
Ball one.
Hundreds, yes. Thousands, a little bit high there, Jaden.
Have you ever counted all of them?
I actually had a couple weeks ago. 239.
This guy, 239. What do you do with those?
I store them.
Look at that. Reber. Ooh, super inside there.
Just tried that slider. Just couldn't get that to break.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Be interesting here if they put Weber in motion, or excuse me, Harrison in motion. Try and draw some pressure on Clements.
Basha might be ready for that. They might even try and get him out on third if he goes for it.
Yeah, keep watching him there, keeping him close.
He's keeping an eye, and we're going to have.
Got a pitch clock violation here.
Yep.
Jaden Clemens didn't make his move enough, and that's a free ball.
Yeah, that's a costly mistake, and to have that this early.
And now Coach Albright out, gonna question it, Jaden. That's just a mistake that you can't
And so break
have.
that down. I mean, I know there's not pitch clocks like in
Around.
the MLB. In high school, there's no physical clock. So how does that system work for the high school athletes?
Well, to me, it looks like the umpire and the field has a stop clock or a stopwatch, and he sets his timer now. Now they're gonna have a conversation at the plate.
And what do you think? What is that number? How long is too long for a pitcher?
Well, in the MLB, it's about 15 seconds with no on base, 20 seconds with runner on base. I think it's going to be about the same, just a little bit more in high school. Looks like they're not going to change anything on the call. Just a mistake there that Clemens can't have. He's got to know how much time he's got.
And Casteel just pounding through their roster. Jose Binoche up at the plate, second baseman. He's got Hairston on second, Reber on first, following the pitch clock violation. Big swing, far left field. Will Basha make it in time? And they will. There we go. Finally, the Bears end the top of the first inning as we move down into the bottom. Casteel on top right now. We welcome you back to the Basha Bear Network. Jaden Rick and Emmett Morris on the call today. The Basha Bears this time hosting the Casteel Colts at home after losing to them 14-4 at Casteel on Tuesday. Emmett, it was a little bit of a rocky start for the Bears there at the top of the first. They let up 3 runs, and they were close to letting even a few more go. Now they're going to get their first chance to bat here in a moment. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting them to do what Casteel did if they want to have a chance to win this game. Be patient. Work counts. You know, have good plate discipline. That's what the Casteel coach just showed on top of the first, and it paid off in the top of the first.
And we mentioned him, Chase Chanley, Basha's best hitter. Here he comes.
Basha here going to need A big start here from Chanley. Maybe a single, possibly a double.
Ball 1.
Good take there, Chanley. Looked good at first, but then just sunk into the zone. Looks like he got a sinker here.
He's got a short bat.
Yeah, that's something to keep no.
Strike 1. Two balls, no strikes, excuse me.
Good start here from Chanley, taking 3 pitches.
3 balls.
Be interesting if they have him go here. They did not.
First strike for Chanley. Still have plenty of room to work with as Caden Holkinson sends the balls over. Ooh, and
Looked a bit high there, Jaden.
Chanley thought he was walking. I mean, he was about to do the bat flip.
Looked like Basha had that same pitch in top of the first, but was called the ball. Interesting. Now they called it a strike here in the bottom.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Chanley takes a swing, and that is going to be a foul. Will they catch it?
Ooh. Just got over in the dugout there, Jaden.
Ryan Barker was going for it as he ran straight into Basha's dugout.
Good thing that's all padded over there for the most part.
Hokinson throwing some good pitches so far.
Yeah, Jaden getting a couple strikes here. That good pitch on 3-0, and then borderline pitch on 3-1, which was called a strike. And now Chanley here on a full count, needing something to start this rally.
And there comes the bat flip. You knew it was coming.
It looked like that same pitch. I was called for strike 2 there, Jaden.
And Chanley will get on to base. The Bears' first runner on the base so far. As next up, we welcome Lincoln Demmons, the third baseman.
Yeah, Demmons also backup catcher for Basha, playing third today. And he played varsity as a freshman, Jaden. Something
And he's
as
only, you mentioned that he's only a sophomore now. He's tall. He's got a lot of talent. So far this year, he's been batting .286. Just like Chanley, he has 7 runs. Demmons' second pitch, 1-1.
perfect breaking ball there from Hawkinson.
Chanley's still leaning off a little bit. And it's going to be popped up. Chanley out at second. Let's see, actually. And he will be out at second as Demmons makes it to first.
Yeah, it was interesting that the second baseman, Binochia, excuse me, didn't charge that ball. Instead, played it on the second hop. Was only able to get the 1 out instead of going for 2. But it could have gone over his head there, Jaden, and would have given the Bears a base hit. Instead, now we got a runner on first with 1 out.
Grant Smith, bottom of the first. Colts up 3-0 as Basha looks to try to start putting some numbers on the board. Demmons makes it back to first in time.
Interesting to see here if Basha down 3-0 in the first, going to try and be aggressive here, get some movement.
Smith, the catcher, takes a hit. Center right field. And Basha, they're going to play it safe. They might have been able to. It's a little close there.
Yeah, it's a little close. Didn't look like Demmons got the best jump. And that keeps him at second. A perfect swing there by Grant Smith. Recognize the off-speed pitch, you know. Hawkinson threw 2 off-speed pitches in a row right before the pitch there to Smith. He was aggressive on the first pitch there, Jaden. Something that I didn't expect Basha to do, you know. Especially with a depleted, tired Casteel team, I'd expect Basha work some count and just get that pitch count up for Hawkinson.
Clayton Cooper, runners on first and second. Strike 1.
Looked like another sinker there, Jaden. Interesting. Not many pitchers throw sinkers anymore. It used to be a popular pitch 5 years ago, but slowly it's dying out on the majors.
Demons leading off on second, and 2 strikes back-to-back for Cooper.
There's a good frame there by Weber, and a good pitch there by Hawkinson, just getting it in on the top of the zone. And now Cooper in the hole 0-2 with a good chance. Now Demons.
And he is safe. That was a close one.
Yeah, he got caught sleeping there, almost costed him. But he was able to get back there, Jaden.
That was good hustle, too, from Baylor Denny over there, trying to help out. Casteel, right? Can't sleep at the top. They're paying full attention now. Cooper still with 2 strikes, no balls. And they're still keeping an eye on Demons.
Another breaking ball there, Jaden. Last 5 out of 6 pitches have been breaking balls.
Clayton Cooper, the triple sport athlete. How often do you see that? He also plays football and soccer here at Basha. He's only a junior.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot here, Jaden. There's only a few people I know here that are triple athletes.
I feel like you're one of those people, Emmett.
I used to be one of those people.
Ooh, big swing and a miss there as Basha gets their 2nd out.
Yeah, I pitched backwards to him, you know, throwing him back-to-back off-speed pitches, or excuse me, breaking balls, and then just pows him with the high fastball to get him out of there. It's a good pitching there by Hawkinson.
And now Parker Anderson batting in place of Clements.
A designated hitter here, Jaden.
So much movement out near second base. You got to wonder if that might have distracted Anderson just a little bit.
You don't know as he takes that curveball that got in the inside corner.
Here comes the pitch. Right down the middle.
That would have been
That's
a good pitch
beautiful
to swing at. That was a great pitch there by Hawkinson. Now Parker Anderson in the hole, now 0-2. If you're Basha, you don't want your chunk of the order going down back-to-back strikeouts.
This one just a wee bit outside.
Oh, that pitch looked good. As Weber misplayed the pitcher, and that almost worked out in the Colts' favor as Demons barely got back there in time.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Anderson. Demons fighting for his life out at second base.
Yeah, I almost got picked off. Now almost got unintentionally picked off from the catcher. Demons now got to be very careful.
Hawkinson almost gives it to him, foul ball.
Good awareness there by Anderson to recognize that sinker. Being able to foul that off.
Hawkinson pitched on a pretty good game so far.
Tough situation here, but 1 pitch away from getting out of it.
Another foul. Basha still with 2 outs, bottom of the 1st, down 3.
Yeah, good battle here by Anderson, trying to stay alive. Down 1-2. He doesn't want to leave those runners stranded out on base, especially after Casteel had an offensive explosion on that 3-run single by Dallas Harrison.
Anderson wants to swing. Ooh, hesitates at the end, and a smart hesitation. 2 balls.
That was a good curveball there, Hawkinson, but good awareness by Anderson to be able to take that.
Reber signaling over to Hawkinson. Got 3 foul balls in a row, Emmett.
Something like that before that ball. Now another one here, Jaden. And Anderson having a heck of a battle up there.
Anderson and Demons, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day. They've been going back and forth. It's the fouls. It's trying to get Demons out at second. We'll see if a change to that pattern will come here. Hawkinson's pitch.
Got him.
Swing and a miss, and Basha will end the 1st inning with nothing on the board as Casteel still leads by 3. top of the second, as cold as ever. Jaden Rick and Emmett Morris, we appreciate you tuning in as Basha tries to get back at Casteel after a 14-4 loss on Tuesday. Shout out to our producer, Allison, as well.
Allison Herrera filling in for Timothy Seal today. Timothy Seal working STN. We miss you, Tim, but Allison, you're doing a heck of a job.
Tim's in the big leagues now, Emmett.
Yes, he is.
And Basha now their second time on defense, and it was really sloppy here in the first. Now moving into the second, do you see anything changing at all, Emmett?
Clemens needs to be aggressive, especially this first batter. You know, their number 9 hitter, the pitcher, Holkinson. He's got to be aggressive here. Try and retire him in 3 or less pitches, Jaden.
And out at the mound for Basha, still in the game, Dylan Clements. Ball 1.
Smith's on a fastball there, Jaden. Interesting that Casteel is not opting for a designated hitter tonight.
Well, they're letting Hokinson take some hits, and unless Basha can catch this, it looks like they will. That was close. Hokinson almost hit it out.
Yeah, routine fly there for Holkinson. Good route there by Gavin Hamilton, the sophomore. Had some time on varsity as a freshman, but mostly played JV last year. Good route there by Hamilton. Record the first out. And like I said, 3 or less pitches. That was second pitch, and now Clemens going to have to really focus in for the top of the order.
Connor Russell, we know he got all the way to third on a single hit back at the beginning of the first.
Yeah, a triple there right in the gap. Was perfect swing there from Russell.
Russell left field.
No man's land.
And he's going to get to second. And a miss. Now he's going for third. Deja vu as Connor Russell makes the 3-base play in back-to-back innings.
Yeah, that was hit right in the no man's land. You know, not much you can do for Basha. And that's why Russell, you have him in the leadoff spot. He's fast. He was able to get the second. And drew the error there. A bad throw from the left fielder, Clayton Cooper. And it just gets past second baseman. The second baseman, Gilbreth, and Russell able to make it to third yet again, Jaden. And now Bash is going to have to bring their infield in. Suicide squeeze.
Died.
Oh, this is going to be perfect.
And Basha looking to have a repeat of the first inning off of that squeeze, is able to close out the top of the second in good fashion. Casteel still at 3 as Basha gets the 2-out play.
Yeah, that was the perfect scenario for Basha. Good read there by the third baseman, Lincoln Demons, able to make that easy pop fly off the bunt. You know, they had the runner in motion too there, Jaden. So if that were to happen, which chances are it's not likely, but it was.
And Demons just all over the
Demons
place.
just caught it and took the 5 feet back to the bag.
You see him there fighting on defense, and then on offense, we saw him just diving into second base nonstop.
Yeah, quick inning too. That ended up being a quick inning for Lincoln Demons. And now Basha here looking to use that momentum now to try and get on the board, Jaden.
Bottom of the second, 3-0 Casteel in the lead as Basha will make their second appearance at the plate. A swift ending to the top of the second as we welcome Paxton Koch to the plate. Strike 1.
Good change up there. wondering if we're going to pitch him backwards. He was pitching batters backwards in the first inning. Backwards meaning going off speed on the first pitch, and on the last pitch you throw him a fastball.
Strike 2.
There's a sinker there, Jaden. Now Koch in the hole.
He's going to take a swing. Koch, foul ball.
Good job being able to fight off that breaking ball.
Up on deck for the Bears, Gavin Hamilton. Hokinson pitched a really good first inning. Had an out at bat just there at the top of the second. Koch, back-to-back fouls.
Just foul there, Jay. That would have been a great start for the Bears.
And Cook will strike out at the plate, 1 out.
Just a great curveball there by Hawkinson, being able to freeze up Cook for Basha.
Gavin Hamilton up next. Basha slowly making through their list of batters. Outside and a low ball there. And this is a tough call. Will it be a foul? And it will. Hamilton gets the out there, and Basha hasn't been going so great.
No, 2 quick outs here for Hawkinson. And now they're going to use their number 9 hitter, Gilbreth. Going to get something started here for Basha.
It's actually David Richter, as he's going to send a high foul ball, and that's the end of the second. Basha making 2 unfortunate swings that resulted in 2 caught foul balls, as that's going to close out the second. David Richter unable to make anything happen for the Bears with his back to the wall.
And that's exactly what Hawkinson needed for Casteel, a quick 1-2-3 inning. I believe, Jaden, that was only 4 or 5 pitches for Hawkinson.
It was quick, it was efficient.
It was easy. And now Basha going to need another quick inning from Dylan Clements.
You know, the difference is so far is Basha's not out of the game.
Not yet.
Right. We know we also saw with Basha softball on Tuesday, the game quickly got away from the Bears. Excuse me, from the Colts. Basha was dominating by this time. So far, you know, this doesn't look to be a repeat necessarily of Tuesday at Casteel, but Basha's got to be able to get something going offensively, get some runners on base, and then just give them a chance, give them some time to make a play happen, but they're not even getting out there in the first place right now.
Right, Jaden. Basha making some key mistakes in the top of the first. That key error by Dylan Clements, and then him making that mistake pitch on a 3-2 count, ending up Casteel putting up 3 on that RBI single by Dallas Harrison. You know, Basha, this game could be scoreless right now, but Basha's kept shooting themselves in the foot over and over again on both sides, offensive and defensively, which results in Casteel leading 3-0 right now.
Denny back up his second time here. Denny, center field. Little right with the wind, and out number 1.
Yeah, it looked like a tough ball there. For Cook be able to field with the wind, especially starting to pick up again, Jaden, making us freezing up here. But good vision there by Cook to be able to bring that one in for the out.
Hardwood had an out last time he was at the plate. Ball 1.
That pitch looked good, Jaden, but I guess it was at the knees. Umpire calling it low there.
Here comes the second. Back to back. 2 balls, no strikes. Casteel still in the lead by 3. Strike 1.
Good off-speed pitch there by Clemens. Good changeup.
And a super inside pitch there is now Hardwood's got 3 balls.
Yeah, Hardwood really crowding the plate here, Jaden.
Foul ball, strike 2.
Interesting to see her situation for Clemens if he hangs one over the plate again or tries to get him chasing an off-speed pitch here.
Hardwood takes a hit.
That was a fastball there, Jaden.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Hardwood, 1 out for the Colts.
Hardwood battling, really battling here. That was the 7th pitcher of the at-bat. Number 8 coming up, Jaden.
And that's Hardwood's 3rd foul ball in a row. Here comes a pitch. Great hit. Hardwood left field on the ground. And he'll sit comfortably at first.
Yeah, great swing there. Great swing there by Hardwood. You know, that outside pitch, away pitch, being able to hit it opposite field on the ground, getting right through in between Demons and Chanley. And now the Colts have some action here in the top of the 3rd. Something to note here, Jaden.
Barker with the bunt. And a big error there from Clements, as now Barker and Hardwood both on base.
Another mistake there by the Bears there, Jaden. Now, instead of it being 2 outs, you got runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out. This is going to start being looked to be a repeat at the top of the 1st. Something else to note, Jaden, that Dylan Clements has already thrown 51 pitches.
Well, that's also not the first time we've seen him bumble the ball.
No, it hasn't. He had an error in the top of the 1st, now an error here in the top of the 3rd.
1 out, strike 1 for Hairston.
Hairston 1 for 1 with that big 3-run single and a full count. Runners are in motion. And
bottom of the 3rd, Casteel up by 3, 1 strike. Top of the 3rd, excuse me.
Smith trying to catch him sleeping there. Good awareness by the runner, especially Harrison. Or excuse me, Barker.
Two strikes. Harrison 2 strikes. Clements, good pitch. Harrison able to get a bat on it, and Casteel trying to go for home plate, and they get it.
Yeah, on the through there from the left fielder, Cooper. I didn't think he had a chance of catching him, even if the throw was perfect. A good hit there by Harrison, and now the Colts have a 4-0 lead.
Hardwood gets home. Casteel up 4-0. Logan Reber up next.
Basha going to need a double play here to get out of it.
Hairston on first, Barker on second. Strike one on Reber.
Good off speed there from Clements.
Reber, he wants it. Takes a shot. Left field.
Oh!
And what a catch. There's that double play you wanted, Emmett.
What a play there by Clay Cooper. Making up for that bad throw to the plate at the last at-bat. Making a Superman catch right there, Jaden.
The diving catch and
then
then the
a
out
perfect
at second.
throw right back to second.
Basha not down yet. Casteel still in the lead by 4 as we now move into the bottom of the third. Basha will enter their last batter in their lineup now. Rowan Gilbreth, the second baseman.
Yeah, Basha here really going to need to start being aggressive, I think, Jade. You know, being patient hasn't really worked out for them too well. I think Basha's going to need to take some first pitch swings, especially if they know a curveball's coming on first pitch, Jaden.
Well, and then in the second, Basha had 3 outs in a row. Not a single runner on base. They need to at least give somebody a chance to make a play. That's what we talked about earlier. Especially, I mean, this is a region game, right?
It's a huge game for Basha.
This is going to affect playoff rankings. It affects, obviously, things like your state ranking, your national rank. This is a rivalry game. And the consequences of this could definitely, seriously hurt your team when you get to the playoffs in just about a month.
Yeah, Basha won the last 3 in a row against Casteel before losing 14-4 on Tuesday. If they get swept here tonight by the Colts, it'll be a bad taste in their mouth going into their next matchups.
And for the Colts, this is their 4th region game so far this season. For Basha, this is their 2nd. Obviously, their first was on Tuesday with that 14-4 loss to Casteel at Casteel. Jaden Rick and Emmett Morris, you're watching Basha Baseball live here on the BBN Network. We appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back next week for Basha's home game against the Hamilton Huskies. As Gilbreth comes up, his first time tonight. And let's see if he can make a change for the Bears.
Yeah, Basha really struggling offensively. They had a good chance at top of the first, but that eventually fell through. Then 5 pitches in the second inning.
Strike one.
Something else to note.
Gilbreth, great hit, left field, and it's in. He almost wanted to go to second. He'll stay at first, and Rowan Gilbreth making something out of nothing.
Just a perfect hit down the left field line, just getting it in the fair territory. A good throw from the left fielder Harward to get it back in. But Gilbreth getting the Bears started here. And now with the top of the order coming up, Chase Chanley, Basha's best hitter, have a chance of having a big inning here, Jaden.
And Chanley got walked in the first. Ball one.
Looked like a good pitch, but just sunk at the last minute. Good take there by Chanley.
Swing and a miss.
Good sinker there.
1-1 for Chanley.
Something else to know, Hulkinson's only at 33 pitches. You know, something Basha really needed to have a focus on was to get that pitch count high because Casteel's played the 3rd game in the last 3 days. But Hulkinson.
Chanley, center field, and that'll be out number 1 for the Bears here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, great route there by the speedy Connor Russell. We've already seen his speed twice on the base pass. Now making a speedy play on defense, making a pretty hard play look very easy, Jaden.
And Emmett, how tough is it, I mean, for the whole team, but especially as pitchers, to play 3 games in a row, 3 days in a row, back to back to back?
It's very tough. You know, pitchers, their arms got to be tired and sore.
Gilbreth safe at first.
And they can't go all out, Jaden, or else they're going to throw out their arm or possibly even worse.
And here comes the fighter Demons.
Yeah, Demon's really
Nice
gonna need to
ball.
have a high count here, a tough, hard fought count. You know, fouling off his 0-2 pitches if he gets that chance, Jaden.
Casteel, they're watching. Eyes on the back of their head right now, Emmett. Demons, high ball, and a great catch from the left fielder for Casteel, Ryan Hardwood.
Hardwood was in the right position. That was a great sparrow swing off the bat of Demons, but it just hit right to Hardwood. All he do was take 4 to 5 steps back, makes the catch.
And if Demons just had a little bit more power on that hit, it probably would have gone over. Instead, it's caught out in the left outfield to give the Bears their second out here in the bottom of the third. Still a runner on first in Rowan Gilbreth. Smith up at the plate. Ball.
Looked like a good curveball there, just didn't break in time enough.
Casteel, the number 2 team here in the state of Arizona, looking to take home that Open State Championship. To 6A. Ground ball, and that is out number 3 for the Bears. Still, no runners have gotten to third base for the Bears so far this game. The farthest has been second, as Basha remains scoreless as we move into the 4th inning. Casteel on top by 4. Bear Network. You're watching us live here from Basha High School, where the Bears are hosting the Casteel Colts. Currently, Casteel in the lead by 4 as we move into the 4th inning. And for Basha, offensively they've struggled, not having a single runner get past second. But Emmett, as you and I both know, there's been quite a few defensive mistakes as well.
Yeah, Jaden, 3 costly errors for the Bears, you know. 2 out of 3 errors ended up leading to all 4 Casteel's runs. You know, Basha really, they're going to need a near perfect inning here.
Jose Benicia back up. Jose ended the 1st inning for the Colts. Ball 1. Going for the bunt. Clements misses again, but they still get the out.
Good backup there from the 3rd baseman, Lincoln Demons. Demons really showing up today for the Bears when they really needed it. Saves his pitcher Clemens from a 3rd error of the game, Jaden.
I mean, that might not be an error counted, but that's definitely still an error that if you're watching the game, you can see he's making these type of mistakes over and over again.
Right, and as Demons probably could see from 3rd, he didn't want another mistake.
Strike 1 for Hokinson. 1 out. 2 strikes for Hokinson.
Yeah, good off-speed pitch there from Clemens, and now trying to work this number 9 here, get him out of here early. Just a nasty off-speed pitch there from Clemens, you know, getting Hoganson the reach on that pitch. And now quickly the Bears have 2 outs, Jaden. Exactly what they needed to do to get back in this game. But now you have the speedy Connor Russell at the plate, Jaden.
He's not going to go easy, right?
He's got a triple and a double, which he ended up reading at third with the error.
And a beautiful hit right past
See if he goes for
shortstop
2.
into center field, and Russell playing it smart, stays at first.
He's got 3/4 of the cycle here, Jaden. He's just going to need the big home run to be able to get that cycle.
And Russell just can't miss. Every single one of his hits today have been beautiful. Like, it is in the perfect spot, the perfect height.
He's exactly right. He's the leadoff hitter. Now let's see if he steals. First chance we really get to see if he's going to steal tonight.
And Russell steals second.
Pass ball there, Jaden. You know, Clemens and Smith really thinking, they're kind of panicking if Russell's going to steal or not if he didn't steal. But ends up getting second anyways on the pass ball.
Dodd, the lefty and the right fielder. Ball.
Like a curveball that didn't break from Clemens. Clemens really struggled today with runners on bases. When there wasn't really runners on bases, he looked very smooth today, Jaden. And that's what the effect with runners on base can really do to a pitcher. That's what Basha really needed to do versus Casteel in the early innings.
Dodd.
Good pitch.
Strike.
Good pitch there to paint the corner.
Russell leading off on second. And that'll be an easy out at first. And now we'll move down to the bottom of the 4th. Russell that close to getting another run in for Casteel. Basha needs to get something started soon, Emmett, if they want to get back into the game. And they just need a single run, I think. I think that's all it's going to take.
Yeah, and you got their cleanup hitter, Clay Cooper, coming up for the Bears tonight. You know, struck out his first time at the plate, but, you know, Cooper has a lot of power, Jaden. One swing of the bat, he can change the whole momentum of this game, and that's what Bash is going to really need to do. But on the Casteel side, Hokinson's been absolutely dealing for the Colts, Jaden. No, it was only at 30, 40-something pitches. We're in the 4th inning, Jaden. That's pretty good for a pitcher, especially with a pitcher who needed to come into this game knowing he's going to have to go deep and give the other Colts a rest.
The Colts, they've been averaging so far this season 9.4 runs a game. They're only at 4 now, so Basha holding them to less than half so far of their average. We'll see if they can potentially hold them to that for the rest of the game. As Clayton Cooper steps up. Way outside, ball 1.
Cooper going to need very selective with his pitches.
One and one.
Good sinker there from Hokinson. That sinker's been really effective today, the sinker and the curveball.
Definitely.
Curveball there, looks pretty good, but ended up in the dirt. Good eye there from Cooper.
Cooper's a little hesitant to swing right now. We know he struck out last time.
They don't want to waste another out, especially down 4 midway through the game.
2 balls, 1 strike. Make it 3 balls.
Good eye by Cooper, not swinging that high cheese. Now he's got a good hitter's count.
Clayton hits it, and That'll be a foul. Will Casteel catch it on the fence? And it looks like they did.
What a play there by the first baseman, Harrison.
Out number 1 for the Bears, and that was
Another big break for the Bears.
well, for the Colts. I mean, that was a tough catch. Like that was
a really tough
far
play.
from an easy out for the Colts there.
They had the fence right there.
Ball 1 for Anderson. Once again, a dedicated hitter in place of Clements. And there
Good
they
swing.
go. Anderson, he's going for second. He's got the time. And there Basha goes. 1 out, a runner on second. A little bit of energy, a spark in the crowd.
Yeah, good swing there from Anderson, getting it into the gap. And Basha getting a big hit. Their first extra base hit of the game, Jaden. The second hit of the game. And now Paxton Cook has a chance to put Basha here on the board. That's the type of hit to get a rally started, Jaden.
Anderson leading off. We know Casteel, I mean, they're staring him down. Strike 1.
Be interesting to see here now that Anderson moved up to third. If Casteel's going to bring the infield in or going to keep it back. Looks like they're going to stay back. They're up 4-0, so they can trade it out for a run at this stage of the game.
Cook hesitates. Smart move. Give him a ball. Another ball for Cook.
Looks like Hawkinson's starting to lose his groove a little bit here, Jaden. You know, had a 5-pitch hard-fought count with Cooper. Now a double, Parker Anderson. Now Cook here really battling against him.
Hawkinson just pitched his 50th so far. Three and 1 now for Cook.
Cook can get on. Basha can really start doing something here. Gavin Hamilton on deck.
Cook a chance to send home Anderson, and he will take the walk instead.
It's time for Basha to score now. You got the bottom of the order coming up. They're going to need to start working counts. You know, Hawkinson just crossed the half-century mark. And now Hamilton.
Center fielder. Hamilton had one earlier that popped up past the foul line and was caught. Let's see if this time he can get on base. Hamilton takes a swing, high right center field.
It's going to drop.
And what a hit as Basha gets their first runner home.
What a swing by Hamilton there. That's exactly what Basha needed. You know, unfortunately that Cook couldn't get home, but he needed to make sure the ball was going to drop, and it did. Just got over the center fielder Russell's head. You know, we know he's speedy, but he just couldn't get that one there, Jaden.
That was excellent from Hamilton. Put the ball in the perfect spot. Got it to second. Basha gets their first runner home with Anderson, and now you've got Cook on third.
You got the tying run coming to the plate, Jaden. David Richter.
Still only 1 out.
It's like now Casteel's going to bring their corners in. Try and cut a play to the plate.
Ball 1.
Hawkinson now looking really rattled. First time he's really had some pressure all game, Jaden.
We'll see if he gets switched out anytime soon.
Possibly. Casteel has nothing in the bullpen as of now.
Richter, 2 balls. Basha still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, it looks like Casteel sending someone to the bullpen right now. Looks like Preston Brush getting warmed up for the Colts, or will be in a minute once they get situated out there.
First strike for Richter.
Richter being very selective. Working a 2-1 count so far. The big pitch here, right here, Jaden.
Richter wants to hit it. He's just waiting. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Hopefully.
And if they walk him here, bases loaded with only 1 out.
Yeah, I got Ty Mitchie on deck looking to pinch hit for Rowan Gilbreth. And a pitch clock violation.
Casteel on the other side of the call this time, and now bases are loaded. Richter on first, Hamilton on second, and Koch on third as we welcome up to home plate for his first appearance of the night, Ty Mitchie.
And now, meeting on the mound for the Colts, Hawkinson starting to let this inning get away from him. And now Mitchie leading Basha right now in batting average with 364. Jaden, this is probably right now the biggest at-bat of the game.
Oh, yeah. And
for the Bears.
Exactly what you want. Bases loaded, 1 out. You know, you've got some room to work with here, and you send in Mitchie. Let him give it a try. And if Mitchie doesn't get it, you've got your best batter, Chase Chanley, up next.
Yeah, you got your number 1, 2 guys in batting average, and Basha right now needing a hit. A hit can very well bring this to a run game. If it's an extra base hit, it can very well tie it. Mitchie, the go-ahead runner at the plate.
Hokinson nearing the end. Gets a strike.
Ooh. Looked a little outside of me, Jaden. Surprised they gave Hokinson the call. And as we saw on the top of the first with Basha, mental mistakes. Hokinson made a mental mistake there for not getting the pitch out in time.
Mitchie inside this time. 1-1.
You got the corners in for for the Colts. Looks like if they get the ball, they're going to try and throw it out the plate. Middle infielders, of course, double play depth. Gets to them. They're going to try and turn 2. Get out of this inning.
See if Casteel tries to catch any of the leaders off their base, and Mitchie back-to-back inside balls.
Good take from Mitchie. That pitch looked good at first, but then came inside. Just a good take there. Mitchie leads Basha in batting average for a reason.
2 balls, 1 out, 1 strike.
Good pitch there from Hawkinson. Now Mitchie's going to have to battle here, Jaden.
2-2. If I'm him, take the swing. I
Have
would
to.
rather you swing and miss here than not swing at all.
Have to. Hasn't took the bat off his shoulder yet, Jaden.
But that's also what Hokinson's going to be thinking here, and that's, you know, the beauty of baseball.
He did.
Mitchie, high.
Be interesting here.
And that is right to the left fielder.
What a throw there. Keeping Cook at third, Jaden.
And Basha, they played that right. They could tell where that was going. They didn't want to get caught in the crossfire. They stayed at their bases. And look, we talked about that. That was perfect position there because you had 2 outs to play with. Now you've got 2 outs, still have the bases loaded, and a chance with your best hitter to finally get a run on the board.
Yeah, good call by the third base coach, Vic Ovaliris, to keep Cook at third.
Chanley swing and a miss on the first, but
he was ahead there, Jaden, with the off speed. He was looking for that fastball.
He came out swinging there. I mean, he wants to take this home. Chanley, foul ball, 2 strikes now, and he's got to be careful.
It's in the hole now, Jaden. Hawkinson 1 pitch away from working out of this jam.
Chanley can hit a home run here, he would tie the game.
Give the Bears the lead, Jaden.
Chanley, another foul, and he got lucky. That was close to being in play.
Yeah, Jaden. Cook didn't stay at third, so he would have been caught.
Cook is playing very smart right now. He's hesitant, but it's a very smart hesitation. Chanley back to the wall. Bears still down by 4. Potential to tie on this play. And
good way to foul off that curveball. Now we've seen 3 out of 4 pitches at this at bat and off-speed pitches. Now it'll be very interesting to see if he tries and powers a fastball past Chanley to get out of this inning.
And for Hokinson, if you could strike out Chanley here, you could get back some of the mistakes almost from closing out the Bears for another inning.
Tried another curveball, Jaden. Very interesting.
Chanley's first ball. And we're going to see
a pinch runner at first. Going to put in the speedy Jaden Campbell at first.
It's Ty Mitchie.
Interesting move by Colt Albright. Middle at bat, Jaden. It's a very interesting move.
One ball, 2 strikes. Chase Chanley got the team on his back, and
Chanley.
He was an inch away from striking out right there.
Baseball's a game of inches there here, Jaden. Chanley swinging at that outside pitch, just getting that foul ball. One off of Weber's mitt and keeps Basha just alive at their last breath, Jaden.
Chanley in play and not fast enough as Basha ends the 4th scoreless. They had the bases loaded for 2 different hitters, and they just couldn't pull it all together as we move into the 5th. Casteel still on top and riding high.
Yeah, Jaden, great job by Hawkinson getting Basha's 2 best hitters. You know, that shallow pop fly to left and that weak ground ball off the bat at Chanley.
And we could tell some of his pitches were going the wrong way for him there in the 4th, and Basha was really capitalizing, but he cleans it up with his 70th pitch of the game there to end the 4th. And as we welcome you back to the top of the 5th inning, Casteel in the lead by 4, and Basha making their first pitching change at the mound of the night. In place of Dylan Clements, we now have Tyler Jensen.
Yeah, Jaden, Tyler Jensen was a varsity as a junior, saw some varsity action as a sophomore, and now, of course, varsity as a senior.
Baylor Denny starts off with a foul ball.
Something to know here is a sidearm pitcher, Jaden. First time Colts have seen that today.
And is that something you typically see in high school baseball, Emmett?
It depends on where you're at, Jaden, in high school baseball. You know, sidearm pitchers are very rare nowadays. I think I've only seen about 3 in my life when I played as a little leaguer. But sidearm pitchers could give a funky move to really throw off the batters as he starts now against Denny 0-2.
Jensen starting off great. And what should be a routine catch is made. Basha gets an out pretty quickly here at the top of the 5th.
Yeah, 3 pitches from Jensen, 3 strikes, a nice hanging slider. Didn't hang too much for Cooper to be able to retire Denny.
Hardwood, blue bat in hand. Strike 1. That was close, Emmett. I don't know. I kind of felt like that was outside.
Yeah, it was a funky curveball there. Just caught the outside corner, according to the umpire. Maybe a good frame there by Grant Smith. But a strike's a strike.
1-1. 1 out as well for the Colts. Casteel just a few innings away from ending their 3 days of back-to-back-to-back games.
Good power on the outside fastball there by Jensen, getting Hardwood to swing right through it.
Hardwood 1-2. Hardwood put some power on it, and he's going to take the easy out of the ballpark homer.
Yeah, hanging slider there from Jensen. Hardwood took advantage of it and sends it a long way out of here, Jaden.
And Casteel now up 5-0. Hardwood
Quickly gets that run back.
with the bomb, and then the celly on the dugout with Baylor Denny. Casteel's on a roll. Like we said, they've won 6 of their last 7 today. If they win, it would be 7 of their last 8. Up now, Ryan Barker gets his first strike. Barker, big hit. And straight to center field, the second out for the Bears.
Routine play there for Hamilton, Jaden. Something to know, all 3 of Casteel's hits off of Tyler Jensen have been hard hit high fly balls. Of course, the 2 of them being caught hit right at Clay Cooper and Gavin Hamilton, and then the one from Hardwood going a long way.
Hairston, same spot, a little bit shorter, and that's a perfect way to play it as he gets on to first.
Another hard hit ball there, Jaden.
Casteel, runner on first, 2 outs. Top of the 5th here as the Colts lead by 5. We saw Basha almost had a chance to tie it up at the bottom of the 4th, and they just couldn't pull it together.
No, Jaden had their 2 best contact hitters at the plate.
Ball 1 for Reber.
That looked close there.
Strike.
Delayed steal.
And Hairston's going to steal second.
Delayed steal there by Harrison. Catching the Bears off guard. The middle infielders Gilbert and Chanley. And now have a runner in scoring position.
take a whack, and that'll be a foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Going to need a big pitch here from Jensen.
Jensen's done a pretty good job. Obviously, he had that home run he gave up. But besides that, his pitches have been pretty accurate. He just had, a single one-off pitch. It's been a lot more consistent than we saw with Clemens.
Right, Jaden.
Jensen, inside pitch. 2-2 for Reber.
Looked like it kind of went there. Of course, no appeal by the catcher. The catcher Smith.
2s across the board. 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 outs.
There's that slider there, striking him out, Jaden.
Reber couldn't get it, and that'll end the top of the 5th as Casteel scores 1 home run. And then we'll move into the bottom of the 5th. And Basha's got to make something happen. They're running out of time. They don't have a lot of innings left.
Yeah, as you said, they don't have a lot of time left. They had the golden opportunity at the base loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. But, pitch.
Welcome back to the Basha Bear Network, bottom of the 5th. The Bears down big, trying to make something happen following their 4-14 loss earlier this week in strike 1.
Big cut there from Demons. We'll see how Hawkinson can respond. Casteel has 2 pitchers in the bullpen right now.
And Hawkinson yet to come out.
Looks like it's going to stay in play.
Super high ball, and that'll be an out.
Down to 8 more outs, Jaden. Basha's got to use them wisely here.
Grant Smith steps up. You just need a little spark to start the fire at it right now.
Yeah.
Something.
The wind's starting to pick up, blowing out towards right center if Smith hit a ball there.
Ooh.
Nice hit.
Way out into left field. That's at least a single. And he hesitated. He's going to just stay at first. And Grant Smith making the big play.
Good hit there from Smith. Perfect hit. And now Bears got Cooper. And then the rally starters, Anderson and Cook in the last inning. And it's now or never for Bears right now. No, Hawkinson, he thinks he has all the momentum. He's getting really, really overused. He's at 72 pitches right now.
Strike 1. Zero balls, 1 strike. Ball 1.
Cooper's really got to work him here. I'd be surprised if Hawkinson lets Cooper aboard that they would keep him in this game.
Cooper hasn't gotten on base yet today.
He might here.
And caught in the outfield, out number 2.
Jammed him here. Now let's see what Casteel Casteel does
Well,
with
we know-
Hawkinson to see.
You talk about rallying. Well, Anderson was the one who had that huge double in the fourth, and that's what got the bases loaded eventually. We'll see if he can make a repeat of that. Once again, 2 outs for the Bears.
Yeah, Parker Anderson, transfer from Hamilton,
Ball 1.
had a big hit. And the bottom of the fourth, now going to need another big hit for the Bears to try and get them back in this game here late.
1-1.
The good pitch there from Hawkinson.
Anderson not afraid to take a whack at it. And this one in play. Will he make it to first? And he will not. That'll be the end of the 5th inning. Basha, no answer yet to Casteel's absolute domination as they still lead 5-0.
A good play there by Barker there, Jaden. And the Colts now looking to pretty much close this game away, Jaden.
Close the game. Preserve your players' health, especially your pitchers. If I'm Casteel, I'm taking Hokinson out right now.
Yeah, this has got to be.
I
That had to be Hokinson's last batter there.
Well, and he's pitched enough at this point, especially after playing 3 days in a row. You're up by 5. You've got 2 innings left. Let's play it a little bit safe. And I mean, that's just me. I'm not the coach. I'm not the biggest risk taker, but I think that you've got to worry about kind of that arm and shoulder health after already pitching. He's pitched a crazy amount so far this game.
Yeah, he's pitched over 75 pitches, Jaden.
We saw him, kind of struggle a little bit back in the 4th. He completely turned it around there in the 5th.
Yeah,
And
quick inning there from Hawkinson in the 5th, Jaden.
we'll see if Jensen can maintain his pitching skills we saw. Some good appearances aside from an odd home run. And it's again Jaden Rickon alongside Emmett Morris here on the Basha Bear Network. We appreciate you all tuning in today on this beautiful yet chilly Thursday afternoon live here at Basha High School. Region play is in full swing now for baseball. Basha, with the losing record so far, wants to get over that 500 mark, while Casteel wants to extend their winning streak to 7 games and potentially move up to the 1st seed in Arizona.
Yeah, Jaden, the rankings did come out today. We have not seen them yet, so Casteel could very well be in the 1st seed, but coming into today, they were the 2nd seed, haven't lost a game.
We didn't talk about it much past our opening, Emmett, but Basha lost so much senior leadership this year.
Right, they had seniors lose, like Gavin Smith, Cannon Albright, Max Madrid. Those were 3 key pieces for the Bears last year.
Benochia, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and he will go 0 for 3.
Nasty slider there by Tyler Jensen.
And Hokinson, he's not taking any breaks now. He's coming back up to bat. The nice cyan gloves and bat.
Cyan, a very interesting word. You know where I learned the color? You know where I learned the color cyan?
No.
Look in the bun here.
Nice. Making the play. Can't get there in time. 2 outs.
Great play there by Devins. Devins really showing up for the Bears defensively. Made a couple great plays there from the bunt, including another one. Got that double play back in the 2nd inning, Jaden.
And now Connor Russell, he's made
The speedster.
an appearance at the bat in every inning except the 3rd and the 5th. I guess really only 3 innings, but
A homer
Out
away
here.
from the cycle.
at the top of the 6th,
He won't get it.
over to 2nd. Will they get it? Oh, and he's safe.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was going to slip out of Chanley's gloves. He pump faked at first, hesitated, then had to get a quick bad throw by Chanley. And Russell beats it out for an infield single.
Russell not giving up. That's a common theme. And he loves hitting it kind of in between shortstop and second. We saw him take a very similar hit back in the fourth. Casteel welcomes a new hitter up to the plate, Max Kane.
Interesting move, taking out your number 2 hitter, Taylor Dodd, to face Jensen here.
Trying to get Russell out at first. Kane takes a swing to the left of shortstop. He's got time. Russell. They play it safe. Runners at first and second. And Max Kane stepping up when his name is called.
Yeah, good swing there from Kane. Now you got Baylor Denny coming to the plate. If he can get a board, you have a prime opportunity for Ryan Harward. You know, he's the 4 hitter for the reason. 4 hitters usually your hitter with the most power, and he definitely displayed much of power his last at bat, sending it way over the right field fence.
And we'll have a short holdup. And we'll make a substitution over at first. Kane going to swap places with Taylor Dodd.
Dodd back into the game.
And Emmett, I mean, isn't baseball just amazing? I mean, this is America's pastime game. This is the game that everyone loves.
I grew up in a baseball town, Jane, in Cleveland, Ohio, one of the best baseball fan bases in the whole world, Jaden.
Strike one.
You know, baseball gets so much hate for it being boring. In my opinion, baseball has the second best postseason right behind the NHL.
What?
Think about it.
I've never heard anybody say hockey is the best.
Oh, the hockey postseason has some of the best games of all time in the world.
And almost got an out at second. That was close. I mean, I really could have seen that going either way. Still 2 outs here, top of the 6th. Jensen getting ready at the mound. They're watching second.
Nasty pitch there. Nasty slider from Jensen.
0 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Just waiting.
If I'm Jensen, you have the batter at 0-2. You know, if you give up a steal, it's whatever, you know, you still have 2 outs.
Well, and Russell is no stranger to stealing. I think we've seen him steal 3 bases so far this game. So you've got to keep a close eye on him, or you're going to let him get to third, and then that could be another easy run you potentially give up. High hit, far left field, and that will be the end of the 6th. Basha, a chance now, a slim chance, here in the bottom of the 6th, down by 5.
Yeah, but the Bears are going to have to start swinging. And it's going to have to be from the bottom of the order, Jaden. Cook is going to have a big at-bat to lead off here for Basha.
Again, we appreciate you all tuning into the Basha Bear Network. We're Basha High School's one and only fully student-ran broadcast network, so we appreciate you tuning in, obviously, us student commentators and our student broadcast team for dealing with us through all of our mishaps and whatnot. We appreciate you guys supporting us all. Jaden Ricken alongside Emmett Morris.
Don't forget, our weekly news show will be released tomorrow at approximately 10:30, give or take.
Emmett Morris doing some promotion for all of our content here on the Basha Bear Network. Paxton Koch up to bat. Koch takes a swing. Foul ball.
Yeah, swing at the first pitch. Something to note there, Jaden. Hawkinson still in the game.
That is surprising to me.
Now he's thrown his 79th pitch, number 80, will be coming up here, Jaden.
And Koch's walking back after his foul ball. One strike so far for Koch after the first pitch. Koch takes a swing again, and he's really riding that foul line.
Same spot, 2 curveballs there from Hawkinson. Now we'll see if he blows a fastball right by him. Casteel does have action in the bullpen. Got at least one throwing.
And they might not even end up using them. I mean, we're here in the 6th.
Yeah, 6 outs away from Hawkinson going the distance. Beautiful pitch. Oh.
1-2. I felt like that was a little outside of it.
Yeah. Looked like a pretty curveball, but might have just missed the outside corner. I mean, Cook thought it was strike 3. Started walking towards the dugout.
Swinging it. Did Koch get a touch on that?
No, it was a drop third strike there, Jaden. If it's strike 3, catcher drops it. Got a chance to run out first, but you don't see them being out the throw very much right there.
It was Gavin Hamilton. He's been one of the only people to actually get on base and make things happen for the Bears. So,
yeah, interesting by Hawkinson. All curveballs to Cook. He didn't give him a fastball.
Super outside ball there. One inning to go. Back-to-back balls. Strike 1.
Good sinker there. Hawkinson working that outside corner now, Jaden. No, I think he let the ball over the plate too much in the 4th. Now working that outside corner.
3 balls, 1 strike. And for the amount of pitches he's played, and keep in mind, he's batted the whole game, Okeson has done an excellent job so far.
In my mind, he's the player of the game.
Great strike there. I mean, that was just the perfect spot. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Got that inside corner.
One out. Ooh. Past third base. Hamilton. Will
Yeah,
pack
beautiful.
up at first.
Beautiful full count swing there from Hamilton. Sitting fastball, gets the fastball. And now Richter.
So far, up at the plate, Richter got out with a foul. Then he was walked after a pitch clock violation in the 4th. Now here in the 6th, we'll see if he ends up hitting the ball this time.
Gonna need that.
That outside, you keep mentioning, strike 1 for Richter.
Yeah, and trying to catch Hamilton sleeping there. But good eye by him getting back. Now the Colts have 2 players in the bullpen, but look like Hawkinson going to be on cruise control unless Richter gives him a problem.
2 for Richter, no balls.
With a beautiful pitch there by Hawkinson. And now Richter in the hole now. Hawkinson just dominating.
Ball 1.
Looked like the same spot there, Jaden. Same spot, 3 pitches in a row.
Richter yet to take a swing or even kind of nudge towards taking a swing.
Richter's going to have to shoot one in the opposite field. Unless Hawkinson changes his approach.
2-2.
Tried the curveball this time, just couldn't get it to drop.
Still 1 out for the Bears, bottom of the 6th.
Ooh.
Really close there,
That was
Hamilton.
close there. Hamilton looked like he slipped getting back there, but just got in there right before the tag.
Ooh. Inside on Richter. Now he's got 3 balls, and there's a chance he might get walked again.
I know it's like a split second, but I'm Richter. I'm probably taking that, taking one for the team, giving the Bears a chance just to cut into this lead. You're so late in the game. This is a key at bat here late.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs now for the Bears, and
He went back to that outside corner there, Jaden.
maybe he should have taken that hit. Rowan Gilbreth, bottom of the 6th, down by 5. You've got to be swinging here. Foul ball. Emmett just ducked for his life, thought the ball was coming straight for him. One and one.
Back to the outside corner there, Jaden.
Let's do a count of how many times you say that, Emmett. Gilbreth takes a shot, and that'll be a foul over the fence. Ooh, and that was right on the edge of the dugout. Nobody caught it, but
That was very close. The first baseman, Harrison, trying to leap over that fence and just take that back.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Gilbreth going to need to be very conservative here. Hawkinson at 98 pitches, be 99 right here.
Richter plays it smart. 2 and 2.
Curveball didn't drop in time. Hawkinson going to throw his 100th pitch right here.
And that's going to mark the end of the 6th. David Richter didn't take a single swing, getting struck out. Excuse me, Rowan Gilbreth getting struck out at the plate. And Basha, emotions at an absolute low right now, as they have still not had a single runner make it home.
Yeah, 100 on the dot.
And I wonder
for Hawkinson
if they'll keep him at 100. Lucky number, and they'll switch him out just for the 7th. And as we enter this potential final inning, if Casteel can run it up, there's really not a honest chance of Basha getting into it. It has been better for the Bears compared to Tuesday. As we mentioned, Casteel averages 9.4 runs a game. Right now they're only at 5. So defensively they've done better, but offensively it's been even worse compared to Tuesday. So they kind of flip-flopped on that.
Right, Jaden. And the Bears, they're going to need a magic here in the in the 7th. This is the last inning, so my mind thinks it's a 9th, but it is the 7th inning. And they're going to need some magic here if they want to come back from this. They'll have to top the order after this inning, but they're going to have to get through this inning first. They're going to have to get through their cleanup hitter, Ryan Harward, who, as we remember, the last time he was at the plate, he sent one way out of here.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what the left fielder will do. Jensen out of control. Ball 1. You think the ball just slips out of the hand? What happens on something like that?
Yeah, it looked like he just slipped out of the hand. Now
And Harwood. That one was a foul. It was very close. Back-to-back home runs, almost there.
trying to go Oppo Taco there for Harwood. Just a little bit too foul.
1-1. The sun finally starting to come out.
Yeah, funny how we're in the last inning and the sun finally comes out and the wind stops.
1-2. It's been a crazy week of weather for Arizona in general. We hit the 90s last week. Now we're down to the 60s. Good line drive. Oh, scooped up. And he'll get out at first. 1 out.
Good play there by Rowan Gilbert to retire Harwood there. You know, hard hit ground ball. Good stop there from Gilbert and beautiful throw.
Barker, strike 1. Quick pitches from Jensen straight to the outfield. Out number 2, and Basha trying to get back to batting as soon as possible.
Yeah, good pitching there from Jensen, getting 2 quick outs for the Bears. And now I'll have to get through Dennis Harrison, who delivered the big blow on the top of the first on a 3-2 count with 2 outs. All 3 runners were in motion, and he got all 3 runners home on a line drive single right to the left fielder.
Jensen turning it on.
It's a nasty, nasty curveball there from Jensen.
2 outs, 0 balls, 1 strike for Hairston. 1-1. He almost took a swing at it, and they'll call it a ball. What do you think there, Emmett?
Good take there from Harrison.
Three and one.
Flower just getting away from second straight pitch like that.
Well, when Hairston came to the plate, Jensen threw an absolute bullet. His past few have been a little off the mark. And another off the mark one's going to walk Hairston, prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah, big 2-out walk. That's what killed them in the early inning too. Now it's going to be a big at-bat here for the Colts. Logan Reber, the catcher.
Colts 2 outs, still here in the 7th. Strike 1 on Reber, and I'm sure the Colts are ready to end this 3 days in a row marathon of games they've had.
Right, Jane, and it doesn't stop for them. They have quite a bit of games close out the month. And then, of course, the long postseason.
Reber, foul ball. He got some power on it.
You sure did, Jaden.
Trying to get the play at first. Won't go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Two and two. Barely tips it for the foul, saves himself from striking out.
Good slider there by Jensen, just fouling it off.
Oh, you could have caught that one, Emmett. That foul ball came right over us.
I think they went on the roof of the locker rooms, Jaden.
Add that to your collection. How many? You said 239?
That's what I believe. That's the exact number.
Pop up into right.
Tough play.
And it's caught. That'll end the top of the 7th. And now Basha, their absolute last chance to make something happen. Welcome back as we come to a close very soon here at Basha High School. You're watching Basha Baseball live here on the BBN Network. Jaden Rick and Emmett Morris here giving you your coverage of the game. Casteel with a 5-0 lead, and now in the bottom of the 7th, Basha's got their final chance. And their last 4 matchups, Basha was 3-1 against Casteel, but that all changed this season after the Bears lost most of their seniors. The two met up on Tuesday. As we know here, Emmett, it was a rainy day, and Casteel pulled away by 10. 14-4 was the final score this time around. Defensively, Bash has been much better, but offensively, it seems they've fallen behind. And we'll see if they can change that here now in the bottom of the 7th. They've got their best hitter up, Chase Chanley.
Yeah, Chanley's going to have to get something started off the new pitcher, Preston Bush.
Ball 1, and that was a quite interesting call.
Yeah, Preston Bush has a high-powering fastball.
Chanley gets a little power on it, but will it be enough? And he's caught out at shortstop. Good catch there from Baylor Denny.
Yeah, these are the right guys up for Basha, but you know, Casteel's got a ringer on the mound in Bush.
Ball 1. Demons takes a swing, and that'll be out number 2. And Basha flying through the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Grant Smith, last chance for the Bears.
And Basha right now 6-7-1. The loss they would fall to 6-8-1, while Casteel would move to 12-5. For the Bears, this is their 2nd region matchup, while for the Colts it's their 4th.
This is a game Basha really needed to come in here with but Casteel came here with all the momentum, and that really showed in the top of the 1st. Basha having key mistakes in the early innings, which ended up costing them.
Smith 1-1. Foul ball.
Ooh, that almost hit our cameraman down there, Andrew Jeeves.
And Emmett, as we close out this game, another foul.
Smith trying to battle here. He knows he's the last out.
Basha's just got to be better with some of these, outside corner pitches. That's what they've missed a lot of swings on, and that's the reason we only saw them get a runner to third base once in the entire game.
Right, and they only got 1 run off of 6 hits.
Smith, pop up, center field, and that's the ball game here from Basha High School. Basha back-to-back outs in the bottom of the 7th as the Casteel Colts win 5-0. A tough loss for Basha. For Casteel, a tough week, but they triumph over all of the challenge, winning 3 days in a row, 2 of those games being against Basha. And for the Colts, it's a bright April ahead of you. You've got the rest of your region matchups, but you're cruising right now. You're feeling good. For Basha, your back's against the wall.
Right.
Now it's time to start taking it a little bit more seriously, to start getting a little bit more into it, because these region matchups, you may miss the playoffs at this point.
Right. Basha has they're going to have a tough game tomorrow as they travel to Tulsa, but then they have 3 straight region games next week as they play Perry, and then back-to-back days versus Hamilton.
And once again, we want to thank you all for tuning into the Basha Bear Network today, Basha's one and only fully student-ran broadcast network. As Emmett was trying to say earlier, make sure you check out the rest of our content, like our weekly news show we produce that comes out every Friday. We also have our sports podcast and sports show, Table Talk and Table Talk Next Level, hosted by myself and Gavin Wilson. Just click on our channel icon down below to explore our channel and see all that we have to offer for you guys. As for now, that's all for Basha versus Casteel 5-0. Once again, the final score. Signing off from Basha High School, Jaden Ricken, Emmett Morris. See you guys next Thursday as the Bears take on the Hamilton Huskies.